Good morning, I'm Kofi Mensah and this is chale.news. It's June 26th and we have a packed morning. Adwoa Safo is speaking from her hospital bed. There's a shocking 15-day gap in a convicted official's prison timeline, and Ghana's World Cup campaign has a passport-shaped problem that could bench our best player. Let's get into it. 4 days after she was shot during a church succession dispute, JoyNews has become the first media house to reach Adwoa Safo's bedside at 37 Military Hospital. A coordinator named Solomon says 4 or 5 bullet pellets have already been removed from her head. On the same day, her brother and 8 others were granted bail. She survived, but this story is far from over. Here's one that should make you uncomfortable. Sedina Tamakloe, convicted, extradited, arrived back in Ghana on June 9th. She didn't start her 10-year sentence until June 24th. That's 15 days unaccounted for. The minority is calling it direct interference with a court order. The government? Silent. Full breakdown on chale.news. The NPP's Kennedy Agyapong crisis reached a new level Thursday. NEC and the National Council voted unanimously to refer him to the party's Disciplinary Committee, which now has 2 weeks to investigate and submit recommendations. And outside the Elisa Hotel where the meeting was held, Ken Musco protesters physically clashing with security. The party's internal fracture is now very much in the open. President Mahama was in Tema for the Sentuo refinery Phase 2 sod-cutting Iwizio, and he came with big announcements. Explorco will drill the Voltaian Basin before the end of 2026, the first time that territory gets touched. Sentuo itself is expanding to 100,000 barrels per day, Ghana's biggest domestic petroleum push in a generation. The Association of Ghana Industries is done being polite about utility tariffs. Their message to PURC: fix ECG and Ghana Water's operational inefficiencies before billing us. Electricity already accounts for 30% of manufacturers' production costs. Another hike, they say, is indefensible, and the data backs them up. Some genuinely good news. Kasapreko PLC recorded 3.5 billion Ghanaian cedis in revenue in 2025. That's more than 3 times Unilever Ghana's 1.03 billion Ghanaian cedis. A Ghanaian-owned company is now the largest listed FMCG business in the country by revenue. Let that land. GTEC has flagged 80 institutions whose certificates carry 0 legal weight in Ghana. Among them DOCSA, DeBest, and Faith University, plus dozens of foreign providers. If you studied at any of them, those qualifications can't be used for jobs, promotions, or further study. Check the full list on chale.news before you make any moves. Her name was Jacinta Appiah. 18 years old from Sekwa in the Bono region, she was hospitalized before her WASSCE finals, but insisted on being discharged to write her biology paper. She never recovered. Rest well, Jacinta. 8 years. The state assaulted journalist Lateef Idrisu, a court-ordered compensation, and 8 years later, all they have to show is one meeting. Ghana's High Court has seen enough. Justice Eudora Dadson has ordered the trial to resume immediately. No more delays. Ivory Coast coach Amos Faye did not mince words after his team's historic 2-0 win over Curaçao, their first ever World Cup knockout qualification. He said Schweinsteiger's pre-match remarks, describing the Elephants as playing a bit African football and not so conditioned by tactics, could simply be called racist. Africa is winning on the pitch and demanding respect of it. Now, Ghana's Croatia problem. Thomas Partey was our best player against England, but if the Black Stars finish second in Group L, the knockout game goes to Canada, the same country that blocked Partey from entering before the Panama match. Saturday's result doesn't just decide progression, it could decide whether our starman even plays. Businessman Ibrahim Mahama visited the Stars camp and said he'd been holding back a bonus pledge, until the England draw changed his mind. There's now a much better bonus lined up on top of the government package. The players know what's at stake Saturday. Ghana's passport office has officially denied that actress Fela McCarthy was issued a diplomatic passport, calling the viral reports entirely false. The story had already spread everywhere before the rebuttal came. No word yet from Fela's team. Finally, tech is getting more expensive globally, and we feel it harder here. Apple has raised MacBook and iPad prices by nearly 20%. Xbox consoles are up to $150 more. AI-driven chip shortages are being blamed. Factor in CD pressure, and those dollar prices hit Ghanaian buyers twice. That's your June 26th morning chale. Every story we covered and more is waiting at chale.news. I'm Kofi Mensah. Stay informed, stay sharp.